Even when we grieve, we are grateful for this most loyal life. I am acutely aware of my vast inheritance, as well as the duties and weighty responsibilities that come with it. The British monarchy has endured wars, abdications, assassinations, and constitutional crises for nearly a millennium. It outlasted empires. It has buried adversaries and shamed competitors. But right now, in the spring of 2026, something is taking place inside Buckingham Palace that has no precedence in modern royal history. A reigning monarch quietly surrenders his authority, not through abdication or illness forcing his hand in public, but through a deliberate, behind closed doors transfer of genuine power to his son. And what about the woman who is blocking the transfer? He has his own wife. King Charles is taking a step back. Prince William is stepping forward. And Queen Camilla, the woman Charles endured decades of scandal to install beside him on the throne, has become an almost impossible impediment that no one anticipated coming. This is not a rumor. This isn't tabloid noise. The evidence is stacking up. The sources are speaking. And the power dynamics inside the palace have transformed irreversibly. Today, we'll explain what's going on, why it's occurring now, and what it implies for the British Crown's future. Stay with us because the story is only getting bigger. Let us go back to February 19, 2026. Mark that date because historians may remember it as the day the modern monarchy underwent its most significant transformation since the abdication crisis of 1936. He travelled across Great Britain and the British Empire. He declared his plan to abdicate in a farewell broadcast to 150 million people worldwide. On that day, Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, Duke of York, the late Queen Elizabeth II's son and one of the royal family's most protected members for decades, was detained. What's the charge? Allegedly sharing classified government documents with people connected to the Jeffrey Epstein network. Let that settle in for a moment. A member of the royal family. Arrested. On charges directly related to the most explosive criminal case of the 21st century. The palace was in free decline. Within hours, the phones were ringing off the hook. Reporters converged on the gates of Buckingham Palace. Social media erupted. And somewhere amid the turmoil, one man was already moving with purpose and clarity, while others were immobilized in disbelief. That man's name was Prince William. According to royal family sources, William has been prepared for this very occasion. Not hoping for it, but preparing for it. For years. According to royal critic Moran Callaghan, Charles has practically handed away the throne, and he prefers not to be involved in these affairs, even though they endanger the monarchy's very future. And this was not a hasty decision made out of panic. The foundation for this transfer of control was laid long before Andrew's arrest made international headlines. Russell Myers, author of the biography William and Catherine, revealed that palace aides had warned about Andrew's actions for years. William, to his credit, took those warnings more seriously than nearly everyone else in the family. Following Andrew's disastrous 2019 BBC interview, during which he sought to justify his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. You have decided to speak out for the first time. Why did you decide to speak now? Because there is never a good time to talk about Mr. Epstein and everything related. And we've been chatting with Newsnight for about 6 months. Instead, the world was given one of the most astonishing examples of royal misjudgment in recent memory. William had gone straight to both King Charles and the late Queen Elizabeth. His message was straightforward and plain. Andrew needs to be relieved of royal obligations quickly. No half measures, no quiet management, and complete elimination. At the time, his warnings were mostly ignored. The late Queen was extremely protective of her son and avoided spectacular action. Charles, then the Prince of Wales, was torn between loyalty to his mother and worry for the institution's future. However, William continued to press. He reportedly advised top royals that the monarchy's connection with the public was tenuous and that defending the institution was more important than protecting any individual, including family. Those words went mostly unheard in 2019. By 2026, they'd become prophesies. Now that Andrew has been arrested and Charles is battling cancer, William's status within the family is no longer that of an heir waiting in the wings. He is, by all accounts, the decision-maker. According to sources, William has played a prominent part in every important decision involving Andrew in the last 6 months, revoking his titles, evicting him from the Royal Lodge, and completely cutting off his link to the institution. This isn't Charles acting alone. This is William directing the strategy. And Charles, fatigued, unwell, and lucid about what the monarchy requires to live, is allowing him. King Charles, cancer, an accelerated succession. To understand why Charles is passing over authority to William right now, you must first comprehend the physical and mental weight that King Charles III carries. He became king in September 2022, at the age of 73, making him the oldest person to ever ascend the British throne. He'd waited longer than any other heir in history for that opportunity. His entire life had been spent preparing for a role that was gradually fading into the future. Then, just as he was about to wear the crown, his body began to turn against him. In February 2024, just 17 months after his coronation, Charles was diagnosed with cancer. The particular type has never been revealed, but therapy began immediately. Throughout 2024 and into 2025, he continued to perform public obligations while discreetly undergoing treatment, a tremendous act of discipline and duty that few people really understand. Then came the second blow. In March 2024, Princess Kate, the Princess of Wales, the most popular royal in the family, and the lady who was meant to help William carry the monarchy's public image, announced her cancer diagnosis. She had abdominal surgery and, after the finding of cancer cells, began prophylactic chemotherapy. She took months off from public obligations. Consider what that means for the monarchy in 2024. The king was battling cancer. His daughter-in-law was battling cancer. The two most significant people for the institution's future were in treatment at the same time. There is a tremendous amount of pressure and fragility concentrated at the very top. According to Closer Weekly, Charles was already pondering delegating substantial responsibilities to William by 2025 or 2026. A person involved with the conversation stated that, while Charles is stubborn and has waited his entire life for this job, people around him increasingly believe that William and Kate will take effective control of the throne within that time frame. Palace officials have openly refuted speculations of a fast transition, but the acts speak for themselves. In 2025, King Charles granted William and Kate the authority to issue royal warrants, which allows them to publicly endorse firms and items on behalf of the monarchy. To outsiders, this may appear to be a trivial administrative item. In royal terms, it is anything but. Historically, monarchs have tightly guarded this privilege. The fact that Charles extended it to William and Kate indicates a significant and intentional shift in the crown's power distribution. More broadly, William has transitioned from heir to partner and, in some cases, decision-maker. One royal source told News International that Charles is advising William to make sensible decisions during this moment because the monarchy's future now lies with the Wales family. But let us be open about the unspoken reality here. Charles is 77 years old. He is undergoing active cancer therapy. His reign may be shorter than anyone publicly admits. The succession plan is not a decade-long plan. It's occurring today, with actual ramifications for everyone in that castle. Queen Camilla's resistance is substantial and disruptive because of its urgency. William wanted a corporate monarchy. Before the Camilla confrontation, we should grasp William's goals. Because this goes beyond scandal management. This involves redesigning the British monarchy. William wants the monarchy to be a modern corporation, not a family enterprise controlled by instinct. A disciplined, responsible, transparent institution with clear authority, quantifiable goals, and no tolerance for obfuscation that has allowed scandals to linger for decades. His model is the Royal Foundation, which he leads with Kate. It has a CEO, board, public goals, and frequent reporting. It works with transparency other royal institutions have avoided. William plans to adapt that framework to the monarchy. In October 2025, William candidly told Canadian actor Eugene Levy that transformation is on my agenda, realizing the tension. How do you reform a continuity-focused institution? A former royal advisor famously compared the monarchy to Marmite. The label has remained the same for decades, yet the contents have changed continuously. This is understood by William. He knows his reforms must be modest enough to not upset traditionalists yet bold enough to matter. His handling of the Duchy of Cornwall, the immense estate he inherited from Charles, shows how he functions. His co-workers say he challenges assumptions and demands accountability. It was explained by an insider. Responsibility drives everything the prince and princess do. They want the monarchy to prosper and help others. A modern monarchy cannot tolerate the entanglement Queen Camilla defends. There, the battle lines are drawn. Camilla issue. Crown versus loyalty. The story becomes complicated and tense here. William's reforms have faced an unexpected but significant obstacle from Queen Camilla. A 50-year friendship is the catalyst. Her relationship with Prince Andrew's ex-wife Sarah Ferguson. William has resisted Camilla because of her closeness to Sarah, Radar Online reports. His position is clear. The monarchy's only safe option is a complete, public rupture from Andrew and the Epstein issue. That position has merit. Epstein papers from the U.S. Department of Justice list Sarah Ferguson. No criminal charges have been filed against her, but the revealed emails suggest she had direct communication with Epstein and appeared to ask for financial assistance during difficult times. In October 2009, she urgently requested money from Epstein when her businesses were failing. William believes the Queen Consort of Great Britain keeps that company. He thinks Camilla's apparent loyalty to Sarah sends the wrong message at the wrong time. Camilla disagrees. She and Sarah Ferguson were friends in the 1970s before joining the royal family. Camilla respects loyalty. She thinks breaking a 50-year friendship for guilt by association is cruel and needless. Ask yourself honestly. Who is right? Should devotion to a long-standing friend trump the monarchy's institutional demands during its worst scandal in a generation? Is William too cutthroat, corporate, and willing to sacrifice relationships for optics? Because that question is central to this war and has no simple answer. Camilla attempted to be proactive, but tension was apparent. She helped strip Andrew of his titles in October 2025. Camilla reportedly responded because Andrew undermined her support for sexual abuse victims. This indicated her willingness to punish Andrew. Her action was gradual, not the abrupt break William wanted. Camilla met French rape survivor Gisèle Palicot in February 2026 to show her support for assault sufferers, but social media reacted harshly. Critics said she was hypocritical for supporting abuse survivors while friends with those involved in the scandal that permitted it. The onslaught proved William's case. He reportedly told Camilla there are no exceptions: family loyalty, personal history, or extended friendships. Anyone involved in this scandal should be exiled. If Camilla refuses, William will work around her, minimize her authority, and wait until he becomes king and Kate Queen Consort. The ultimatum. This is extraordinary. The true power struggle, Kate versus Camilla. Kate and Camilla's dispute is more emotional and possibly more serious than William and Camilla's tactical war. The National Examiner reports that Princess Kate is working extra to handle Andrew's arrest. She has been working with palace officials on the public response, consulting with legal consultants, and implementing William's crisis management approach constantly. All accounts indicate she is a co-strategist. Besides supporting her husband, she's a decision-maker dictating how the monarchy handles its worst controversy in decades. Camilla despises it. An insider candidly described the dynamic. Camilla dislikes Kate's involvement. Their relationship has always been strained. Camilla is threatened by Kate's apparent leadership. She reportedly accused Kate of weakening her and Charles, as if the monarch needs help from the next generation. Consider that accusation. The palace is in turmoil. An elderly royal was arrested. The people barely trusts the monarchy. The Queen Consort's main preoccupation is her appearance. Charles, commendably, disagrees. The same source said he defends Kate whenever Camilla criticizes her, saying she's just helping. Camilla remains clearly and passionately resentful. The optics are changing. William and Kate attended at public events after Andrew's detention, projecting stability and calm. Kate attended important palace gatherings. Kate coordinated formal remarks. Camilla was mostly missing from that show of strength. That absence says volumes. This dynamic is crystallizing in the palace. The future is William and Kate. Charles and Camilla are learning, often painfully, what it's like to pass the torch. Ultimatum. William's final say. William and Camilla's simmering quarrel exploded in late February 2026. Sources say William gave an ultimatum. Camilla was given a choice: openly disassociate herself from Sarah Ferguson or risk hurting the monarchy's credibility at a time when it needed it last. This was not implied. A future king trying to manage a complex family dynamic did not make a nice request. A demand. William felt empowered to deliver it, which says everything about how much authority has changed in Buckingham Palace. Royal heirs rarely offer ultimatums to queen consorts. The hierarchy works differently. Royal insiders say King Charles has given William final say regarding the Andrew incident and the monarchy's prestige. He has deputized his son as heir and crisis decision-maker. Charles backs William's plan. Camilla does not. That separation, the reigning monarch supporting his son against his wife, is as startling as anything this family has done in decades. Royal sources said there is a consensus that William must lead the public confidence rebuilding after Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's damage. He is solely committed to that purpose. Those who don't support that mission, regardless of position or affiliation to the king, are marginalized. The question is simple now. Will Camilla comply? Will she resist, widening the breach, marginalizing herself, and possibly forcing Charles to choose between his wife and his son in public? Please consider this question. Is William correct to press hard? Could his corporate, zero-tolerance approach to loyalty and scandal cause problems for the monarchy? Leave a comment below. Future King's plan. How William will rule. The Buckingham Palace power battle is not isolated. This is the surface of a deeper change. This will characterize the British monarchy for future generations. When William becomes king, which all evidence shows may happen sooner than palace communications have accepted, the institution will change. He has communicated some basic values to close friends. Smaller monarchy first. Lower royal employment. More oversight of crown public representatives. An extended royal family with dozens of individuals using public resources and prestige while accumulating liabilities is unsustainable. Don't tolerate scandal. William has reportedly instructed his closest associates that anyone who brings disgrace to the monarchy, regardless of lineage, history, or sentiment, will be dismissed immediately. Andrew wasn't remarkable. Andrew was a test. The exam results will guide all future decisions. Third, merit-based, transparent institution. Under a King William, courtiers who have made decisions behind closed doors for decades, emphasizing tradition over accountability, will lose power. Decisions will be made with explicit ownership protocols. This king runs Cornwall like a CEO. Why are things done a certain way? He demands proof. He holds people accountable for results, not intentions. Kate will be key to that initiative. She is already a strategic partner and will be more active, publicly influential, and intimately involved in the institution's direction than Camilla has been. Every aspect of the monarchy is changing. King Charles remains. Camilla remains queen consort. The center of gravity shifted. The next generation is making important decisions with the king's permission and often direction. What follows and why? Critical months ahead. The Andrew controversy continues. Still possible criminal charges. Epstein file disclosures continue. In that circumstance, every event shakes the palace. William's authority grows with each shockwave. A crisis makes people look to those with confidence and clarity. People look to those with plans. William is that person inside the palace and in public perception. Family sources say the next few months are crucial. Genuine accountability, demonstrable reform, and a believable break from the behavior that allowed the Andrew scandal to develop over decades may strengthen the monarchy. If it fails and the public believes the palace still prioritizes family loyalty over institutional integrity, the silent clamor for abolition will grow louder. Stakes are not abstract. A YouGov poll from early 2026 found that UK under 45's support for the monarchy was at its lowest ever. The next generation of Brits watches. They're watching to see if William's promised metamorphosis is real or a staged royal performance. What we want you to consider: can the British monarchy implement William's structural reform? Is the institution overly rooted in tradition, continuity, and the people and relationships that shaped it? For true inner change? That question will shape the next decade of royal history. We're witnessing the solution being typed live. The transfer is done. Please be honest about our location. Charles remains king. On the throne. Government structures will display his portrait. Official documents bear his signature. Williams is becoming the monarchy's strategic, crisis management, and future decision-maker. Camilla remains queen consort. She retains the title. She walks with Charles at official ceremonies. Kate Middleton is directing the palace reaction to the worst crisis in a generation. Everyone inside those walls knows. The old generation rules. Young people run things. The British monarchy in 2026 is amazing. Nobody planned, announced, or can undo this fact. William's power will grow as the Andrews affair unfolds. Long-term consequences are inevitable given Charles' health and age. Camilla's opposition, while understandable, is a last-ditch effort to turn the tide. Not peacefully, elegantly, or without human cost and familial anguish, the monarchy is recreating itself. It's redefining itself. Prince William is leading that reinvention, backed by his wife, with final power from his father, and persuaded that the institution must adapt or risk more than a scandal. You think? Is William right to push so hard and fast? Is Camilla's resistance wrong? Is her refusal to leave a lifelong friend admirable? Could all this pressure force Charles to resign sooner than expected? Leave a comment. This discussion is just beginning. If this breakdown helped you understand what's going on inside Buckingham Palace, like, subscribe, and watch our next video where we examine William's full plan to restructure the monarchy. See you.